Happy New Year's Eve, and welcome to the Believes Crypto Show, where we take major crypto news events of the day and see what's happening so that you know what's going on in the crypto world. My name is Believes, and I'm your host, so please do me the favor of hitting that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified of future content so that you're notified when we do this. We do this at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time every night to talk about what happened for the day in the crypto market. Now, for those of you that remember, we used to do this during the day. Now we're going to do it in the evening so we can wrap up the day and get an idea of what's going to happen next. And we're going to kick off tonight after the jump with these, our top stories.
It's your boy Believes. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, let's talk about it. What is going on? Let's get into chat right now. We've got George Lopez Garcia in the house. We've got DMC82 in the house. Super Premium, what's going on? We've got Juicy, Happy New Year. We've got Shay No Crypto 2026 here in Australia. Well, crikey, mate. Look at that. I speak Australian. We got Washington Heights veteran in the house. What is going on? Guys, I hope everybody's having a good evening. Wish my day could be better. I'm still waiting for a doctor to call me, and I've been waiting by my phone because I'm an idiot, by the way, for 7 hours now. And yeah, so the place is closed. So I was supposed to have a telehealth conference today. Scheduled it. Lady said she was going to call right away. Did call right away, but I had my home phone set to not answer. Left the message, said she was going to call right back as soon as she got done with the next appointment. She would call me back, and I've been waiting ever since. And called back in, and they were like, yeah, she's going to call you. And she didn't call me. So I wonder if maybe she just didn't want to give me a bunch of bad news. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what's happening here. Let's start off with this. So guys, the big thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is Franklin Templeton is called XRP, foundational to global finance. And I think this is a very important thing because we're looking for good opportunities and we're looking for good risk that we want to take into 2026, a year in which we are finally going to get that blow off that we've been looking for. Fundamentally, it is my opinion that the crypto market has changed. The 4-year cycle is dead. The 4-year cycle bros, however, are still out there doing what can only be described as silly 4-year cycle bro stuff. So, we'll take that into context. They're doing what they've always done. They've made profit with it. Why should it be any different? There's no requirement that they get to cash out at the top. So who cares? It's no big deal. But what is a big deal is we did not get an altcoin season. We did not get Bitcoin to wherever we think it's going to go. Now, I think it's going to go to 175,000, 170, 175,000. Other people are calling for 150,000. Some people are saying that we've already reached the top and that this is it, that we're going to get a dead cat bounce from this dip that we just had, maybe up to 100, 105, 107,000, and then that's going to be it. But that makes absolutely no sense. And I'm going to give you some of the reasons here, structurally, foundationally, on why that's just silly to say that that's the case. One thing to remember is that Bitcoin has been running on a 4-year cycle, but it's not been the 4-year halving cycle that's been the thing. If you go back and you look at it, and we're actually going to do that, we're going to be off tomorrow because it's New Year's Day. But when we come back on Friday, I'm going to show you the 4-year cycle and the way liquidity has flowed and how it's affected the markets. And you're going to be shocked at what's happened over this last 5 years. Every 4 years, we had liquidity pumps in the market that just so happened to coincide with Bitcoin's rise at every one of the halving phases. Well, guess what? We didn't have that same thing happening. Now, we've had liquidity coming in, but we haven't had it the way that it normally happens. That's what's been stopping us. We haven't had rates this high in a long time. There's a lot of different structural things that have been causing a problem. So we're about to go into that banana zone, and it's going to be a 3-tiered banana zone. Might be the blow off to everything, might just be the continuation of a massive rally. Now, when you say, well, that can't be the case, Blaze, because it's still that 4-year cycle, I would point out to you, let's say silver, let's say gold. And to remember, silver runs to gold, gold runs to Bitcoin. That's the way that it's worked. That's the way it continues to work, but that's not the way that it's working right now. Why is that? Because gold and silver are still running. It's not done. There will be a rotation. There will be another leg up. We just haven't reached that spot yet, but we're going to reach it in haste. Anyway, back to the story here. XRP is now considered a foundational asset. David Mann, head of ETF products and capital markets at Franklin Templeton, said in a statement that XRP plays a foundational role in global settlement infrastructure. Now, we've heard rumors and saw some reports here that not only is XRP the main squeeze, if you will, for everybody, but also that it might actually be partnering with the SWIFT payment system to become the new SWIFT payment system. The rollout marks a significant turn in XRP's fortune. 5 years ago, token faced mass delistings from major exchanges, and now here we are. And currently it's sitting, where are we at right now, as a matter of fact? Let's go look at it real quick. I think it's the number 5 asset. Yeah, number 5 asset after Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, and BNB. XRP still sitting in that range right now as a top 5 asset, blowing away, in fact, USDC, which is still surging as well as Tether. We're still getting a lot of stablecoin in the market. So Franklin Templeton, they know what's going on. Now, we just had a breaking news story, and that is this. The Clarity Act is now set to advance as the Senate picks January 15 for the crypto bill markup. This is a big, big moment. According to a Crypto in America report, senators on the banking committee picked January 15th for the markup of the crypto bill. However, the report noted that it remains unclear whether Republicans and Democrats have reached a common ground to support a bipartisan markup, or senators from both parties could vote yes in support of the bill advancing to the Senate floor. CoinGate reported the Clarity Act markup was delayed to next year after several issues stalled negotiations between both parties. Those issues had bordered on the Genius Act, stablecoin yield restriction, token classification, illicit finance, and ethics in the crypto bill. However, this latest development suggests that the Republicans and Democrats have been able to reach a common ground. The crypto bill could head to the Senate floor once the banking committee votes on proposed amendments. So we have the amendments. Everything is ready. The Clarity Act is going to be the second major crypto bill in the United States, and this is a massive occurrence. This is exactly what we've been waiting for, and we've been waiting a long time for this, and this is going to be the thing that puts the guardrails in place so that institutions and capital management companies can now ape into cryptocurrency like they have not been able to before. There are a lot of people out here that want to get in on the ETFs. We've seen plenty of ETF flows. We've seen plenty of flow, but we haven't seen the open market yet. This is going to give them the guardrails for the open market. This is massive. This is going to be an incredible moment in time for cryptocurrency. So be watching for that Clarity Act as news starts to leak, as we start to get information about this. This is going to throw crypto into a banana zone. Next up, crypto market gets year-end boost as Fed injects $74 billion into the economy. Now, here's what happened. The New York Fed's repo operation showed that the U.S. central bank injected $74 billion into the banking system today. This came through a $31.5 billion purchase of U.S. Treasury bills and a $43 billion purchase of mortgage-backed securities. Now, what does that mean? Well, they've bought back Treasury bills, which is debt for the United States. So, by the way, that does mean that the U.S. debt, despite the fact that it continues to roll and roll and roll up, bought back some of its debt. and $43 billion for mortgage-backed securities. This marks the third consecutive repo operation this week, as CoinGate reported the Fed injected $26 billion on December 29 and $3 billion. Remember I told you it was going to be $40 billion? We're now up over $100 billion. The $74.6 billion plus $26 billion is 100.6, and then $3 billion, 105. Basically, $104 billion been injected into the economy over the last month by the U.S. Fed. Not officially quantitative easing yet, but it's everything but the name. So this is a big move right now. It's establishing liquidity in the market. This is exactly what we've been looking for a very, very long time. And I, my friends, am here for it. Next up, experts are now predicting that the Ethereum price rebound is going to hit $4,000 very, very soon. Long-term holders have been aping. And by the way, this is also applying to Bitcoin. Whales who were dumping have started to accumulate again. We're in December, and despite the fact that we've had a push down on the price, that we haven't seen the fourth quarter, we haven't seen the October, the November to remember, we haven't seen a great December, we haven't seen anything in the last 90 days other than Wintermute selling off and Jane Street doing their manipulations. Other than these market makers doing this, we haven't really seen anything positive. But what we did notice is that whales who had sold off in October and November are now accumulating again. They know something is coming. They understand fundamentally that the market is about to reverse. So we're looking for that to happen. Certainly excited to see how that plays out. But in a next post, Kas Abe, a popular crypto analyst, predicted Ethereum will soon jump to 4,000, a 35% upside from the current level. He pointed to its technicals on the daily chart, which show that the coin remained above the descending trend line that links the lowest swings in June, November, and December of this year. We'll talk about that when we get to the charts in just a moment, and we'll move on now because the Trump tariffs. Crypto traders are increasing their bets on the Supreme Court ruling as cooling inflation fuels rate cut hopes. Now, what we're dealing with right here is the odds rose to 36% in recent days. The probability improved 10 points compared to 26% in early December. The number of trades totaled 1.76 million, with more trades being taken by bettors. And what they're saying is, will the Supreme Court rule in favor of Trump's tariffs? So 26% was the no. They were saying they were on the sidelines, that they were going to kind of stop it, because it is, by the way, the job of Congress to set the tariffs, not the presidency. But when Congress can't act, the president is acting, and he's doing it in a partisan way and not a bipartisan way, which is the structure of Congress and the Senate. So what that means is when you can't get stuff done, Trump just went out and started doing it. So, and by the way, Congress is run by Republicans on both houses. So the Senate and the House are both Republican led. So what are they going to do? They're not going to do anything. So it's down to the Supreme Court right now, and there's challenges being set out here. But challenges to the tariff introduced by Trump continue to increase in multiple courts. The constitutional authority of trade policy is being challenged through lawsuits. The participants in the prediction market are starting to believe that the court will support the administration. This court has supported Donald Trump, even despite some of the things that he's been doing, which are clearly not constitutional based on our understanding of the Constitution. The Supreme Court, this Supreme Court, which is using this opportunity to be fully supportive of the conservative values of this administration, are kind of thumbing their nose at the Constitution, in so much as what they are doing is just reinterpreting. And by the way, when I say thumbing their nose at the Constitution, we have a basic understanding of what the Constitution says. And what they're doing is they're sidestepping that for the spirit of the Constitution and conservative principles. So, and look, I don't have a problem with that. We have to point out, we have to be honest intellectually that that's what's going on right now. They're not really worried about what the Constitution says. They're worried about the framework of it and how they can interpret it. And by the way, if there were no reason to interpret the Constitution many different ways, we wouldn't have multiple parties, just to be fair. So Democrats see it one way, Republicans see it another way, and we'll see how all of that rings out. Now, the last thing is, one of the last things is jobless claims slide to cap a bumpy year in the job market. So we got a report today that the jobless claims were 199,000, the lowest since the end of November. I don't believe this is true, okay? I'm not saying this to disrespect the Trump administration. I want to see good data coming out. I want to see the improvements in the economy. And by the way, if it's not really improving, I don't care what kind of data I'm getting. I'm worried about the market pumping, right? That's the only thing that I'm worried about. But I don't think that this number is correct because they couldn't collect all the data in October and for part of November. So there's really no way that they can have this accurate data right now. And also, when the CPI came out, the CPI was only talking about gas and oil prices, new and used car sales. So that was how they came up with a lower inflation number, because food prices were not priced in. All these other things were not priced in. The data from a few months before was what was used. So I don't think this is going to be... remember, when the data came out and Donald Trump didn't like the data, he fired the people who made the data until he could get people who would give him the data that he wants. Okay, so, but that also allows for the opportunity for people to just say to themselves, hey, you know what, maybe this is I mean, whatever, bro. As long as the market pumps, I don't care. I do not care. So I don't trust these numbers, but I'll take them. By the way, that's going to continue to lead to rate cuts. Okay, the market is healthy and we're starting to see it. Also, yesterday we had our first inflow day in a couple of days here, where $235 million entered the Bitcoin ETF. So we've got a positive day coming. Also with Ethereum, we had $68 million in inflows right there. With the XRP ETF, guess what? Another big capital inflow day on the XRP ETF of 15 million. And then on Solana, another capital inflow day. Guys, we've been seeing nothing but capital inflow on most of these ETFs for a while. The outflows of Bitcoin, the outflows of Ethereum, we already know those are happening, but everything else, we're starting to see those inflows. By the way, for those of you that don't know, a second ETF for BitTensor was just filed. So Tau is now going to have 2 ETFs coming very, very soon. That's a big moment for the Tau community. Again, trading at about I want to say about a 2 billion market cap right now. If I have that right, let me 2.3 billion market cap for BitTensor right now. The #1 AI in all of crypto. Near protocol, very close at 1.9 billion, but we're just fighting. We're not fighting for #1. If BitTensor is a top 5 and the market is surging, I will take that. Okay, I will absolutely take that every single day. Now, moving on here, Fear and Greed Index still sitting at 21, not doing that great, still struggling to catch that headwind. But again, there's two things going on right now. Okay, you've got bots trading because active traders are not in the markets right now because it's the holidays. And then number 2, you've got sell-off for people to settle tax debt before the end of the year. So you've had sell pressure and you've had nobody buying. That changes not tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be a federal holiday. That changes on Friday. The bell's going to ring on January 2nd, and we're going to see the underlings and the rumblings of a massive surge in this market. I am sure of this. We're going to see a move. And by the way, a lot of people are going to start to make their bets because now they're finding out that the Clarity Act is also on the table. Everything that we've been waiting for, it's about to happen. Liquidation, nothing's really changed there fundamentally. Also, when it comes to DeFi, DEX volume, just garbage, just not very good at all. And finally, we're going to go over the things that we were talking about for the last couple of days. We're going to look in on everything. Bitcoin still ranging right here. No real change in the dynamic. You had a little bit of a surge from yesterday, but I still anticipate that we're moving up to 94,000 in short order. The next move over here for Ethereum is going to be 3,480. Let's call it around 3,500, with ultimately that move to 4,000 coming in. I don't think the 4,000 makes a whole lot of sense. I would actually take right there where, and you may not be able to see it, but around 3,800 to me feels like a spot where we're going to see that resistance. So I do think that Ethereum is about to make a big move. Same thing with Solana. Solana move is still in the pipeline. XRP move is still in the pipeline. Tau move is still in the pipeline. BNB moving upward and still in the pipeline. Avalanche still in the pipeline. Luna Classic. Luna Classic actually broke out today, had a nice rally from around 36, 37, all the way up to 47. So it had a big rally, about 15, I want to say close to 20% by the time the move was done. About 25% after the move was done. Now it's since been selling a little bit off. Tomorrow, it's not going to be a federal holiday in China. It might, so we should probably get the data from Binance tomorrow about a massive burn from Terra Luna Classic, and it's going to be in a few hours. So I think that's going to spark the additional rally that I've been telling you guys about, and that we're going to see on Luna Classic a boom move right there, because people who've been waiting on the sidelines are seeing these 500 million burns, and they're thinking like, that's not even clearly that's not enough, and you're going to see probably 5 billion burned, maybe even 10 billion burned, and people are gonna be like, oh my God. And I think that that's gonna have a significant impact on Terra Luna Classic over the next couple of days. So I'm waiting excitedly to see what's going on there. Trump is still dipping a little bit, not happy with what I'm seeing out of the Trump meme coin at this point. But again, I think there's still the opportunity right there for a significant rally. That significant rally going back up into this range right here. Near Protocol, still waiting for Near to make that move. Ondo, same thing, still waiting for that move right there. Pendle, I talked about Pendle, and I think Pendle is ready for a significant breakout. This was yesterday. We talked about it broke down from Wintermute, where it should have rallied all the way back up. So I suspect we're going to see Pendle have a rip right there to that range. Like it's going to have, I think it's going to have a bigger move than some of these other ones. SWI, because fundamentally lending and borrowing in crypto is going to be big news when that Clarity Act passes. SWI broke down below their structure. Now we've got this bottom formed along this spot right, horizontal line right there, and we're at the bottom of the range. So I suspect the same thing. We're going to see a big pump from SWI coming up very soon. Dev not having any kind of, there's nothing really to talk about with Dev until they actually do something. So we'll see how that goes. Base is a big deal, but it's still breaking down below that support line. This was a preliminary support line based off of where we were. That I put that wick right there because that's where we were at the time. If I move this out a little bit, looks like structurally we're still in the good right now. If it goes below where it is right now, if we zoom in right there, then you can see like if it goes below that, then we're in trouble right there. But foundationally, this is a pretty good spot for a massive rebound for Arrow, which again is a massive finance company, which is a massive lender and borrower and lender for the base ecosystem. The base ecosystem getting more and more popular by the day, especially with institutions. API 3 struggling. We'll talk about that one a little bit more later. Aster, I keep it on the radar, but I haven't really seen anything to make it go crazy. I did have some clown that came in and started telling me, I don't know what I'm talking about, that Veracity was going to pump, and it just continues to dump now down to 301 from, I think this was at 10 cents at one point. Like it's absolutely insane. Yeah, it was at 10 cents at one point. Close to 10 cents. It was at 9 cents. All the way down to 301. Veracity has just absolutely screwed over and backstabbed every single person, and it continues to dip. And this guy's like, it's going to be a rally, bro. Oh my God, you clown. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't believe you shit like that. MK, by the way, guys, if you did not and you faded Pablo Crow, shame on you, because if you accumulate a little bit right over here, now I sold some of mine because I was going to take my profit along the way, and I sold up here right around this top here at 57, maybe actually it was 6 cents is where I sold. It's now at 8 cents and continuing to go, and I've got about 3,000 tokens. So we'll see whether it does anything worthwhile that you know, it's going to resonate with me. But 3,000 tokens at $1 is $3,000. It's already been to 32 cents. So if it goes to a 60, 70, 80 million market cap, something like that, goes to $1, it'll be about $3 grand. So you know, we'll see whether that happens or not, but I just want to keep you guys informed that that's what's going on. And that's going to be the show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I got to get out of here because it is New Year's Eve, not New Year's Steve. For those of you that, I don't know what I mean by that, but you know, let me minimize that just a little bit more right there. Trying to keep this on the screen so you guys can see that at any time. Anyway, this is not financial advice. I'm always right. Thank you guys so much. Happy New Year. We'll see you guys on the 2nd. I'm going to be off tomorrow, and there will still be content coming out, by the way. I've already filmed it, so the content's coming out, but we won't have a live stream. So we'll see you again soon. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.